Welcome everyone to another episode of The Daily Hustle. This is episode number 11, I believe, if I'm counting right. Anyways, episode 11, season 2. I'm here with my good friend Alexis Neon.
Yes.
Wow, listen, I gave her the name Neon. Right now she's not wearing her bright shoes, but when she used to come to my class, her shoes were the brightest ever. And we became friends because, as you guys know, I'm a big shoe fan, so you know what time it is. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
And if you wonder how come I look so good right now, we have some lights here. Shout out to her because she came with her own lighting, which is okay. They set everything up. They have to make sure. She said, listen, I gotta look good. I'm gonna be on your show. I wanna look proper. I wanna look bright, nice and fresh and refreshed. So we got these nice lights here. I'm gonna check out Amazon after we're done this anyways, and I'm gonna have this whole setup, boom, down pat. We're good to go. Anyways, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
So let's start first with how you actually got started in the field.
Well, I was always super athletic as a kid. Ever since I was really young, I played a lot of sports. I eventually got to that age where you get too old to be on a sports team.
True.
And I was kind of lost, Didn't know what to do with myself, so I joined gym, Mansfield, back in the day. Started taking fitness classes, your boot camp to be one of them.
Okay.
And
You know what time it is, okay.
Shout out.
Outdoing everyone in the class, I know. What's up?
And then, so I did the fitness classes, which were great, and started training on my own a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I still wanted to learn more. So that's when I was really passionate about health and fitness. So I decided to pursue my degree in biology, Bachelor's of Science in Biology, to learn more about how the body works on a cellular level. Didn't know really where it would take me, but interested me. So then I got my personal training certification and started Flexis Fitness on the side while I was in school. A couple of clients, outdoor boot camps, and that's when I really noticed that everybody's different, Like I was always on sports teams, so, being an athlete, you see athletes, but then you really see that everybody has a different perspective on fitness and different weaknesses and strengths. So I was passionate to help those people too, like everybody. And so then I was working at a company while working on Flexis Fitness as well. So I did that for a bit, and now I've built it up so that I
Until the company get the heck out of here. Get things started.
It built up to a point where
I got a camera. I'm on YouTube.
I could come in.
Her YouTube channel is lit, guys. Listen, I checked some videos out. I was like, damn, I need to take some lessons from her. Clearly, it's because of the lighting and the good camera. So, two things I got to invest in: lights, good camera. Just kidding. I'm kidding about that. But obviously you've evolved and you moved into a different direction, which is great.
Yeah.
And really taking things by storm. This app that you have running, tell us a bit about that.
So because I've noticed that everybody's different, I've realized that there's a bit of a gap in the fitness industry, specifically for women, where there's a lot of fitness experts out there on Instagram, just giving out cookie cutter programs. So I realized that there was a need for a more personalized approach, and in order to reach out to more people, I brought online on this app. So each month I offer a personalized program.
Cool.
So it
goes from there.
Yeah.
It's been growing. That's awesome. Well, it's always good to take advantage of technology because that's the direction everyone's going right now. I myself, I'm trying to do the same thing, similar thing with apps, but just try and get more exposure that way.
Exactly.
And I definitely have seen your following. It has been growing a lot on Instagram. So guys, if you haven't yet checked out her Instagram page, her Instagram tag will be tagged at the bottom of this segment when we are done, so you'll be able to find her. Thus far, being in the industry, what have been some challenges that you faced?
Probably. That's a good.
Boom. That's okay.
I haven't really faced many challenges yet.
Yeah.
Besides just building the business, like it's been a long process.
Still
which it's a challenge just putting it out there and reaching out to more people. I think that would be the biggest challenge.
The biggest challenge so far.
Yeah.
Okay. In your experience thus far, what have been some successes that you're proud of?
Probably the biggest success would be bringing it online because I've been able to reach out to a larger audience and make an impact on more people's lives. So it's with that being said, like it's the messages that I get from the girls on the app. Something as simple as saying like, wow, I'm really enjoying my program, or it's finally something that I'm able to stick to because it's made for them at their level and they're seeing the progress.
Right.
So
do you work with a general formula, or is it like each person you sit down and you go, okay, this person, they're in this category, so I'm going to break it down like this. This person's in this category, I do it like this. How specific is it to every person?
It's really how they're progressing every month.
Okay.
So they go on my site, they take a quiz. I make a program for them, and then from there I really track, because I'm able to see when they do a workout.
Nice.
And I'm able to see all their stats too.
Nice.
So I'm really like I really want to make it for the person, and also I'm very particular with movement.
Right.
I've gone really into that,
Right.
so I take the time to teach proper movement before they're able to progress the hard. So I see how they're progressing, and I ask them like every week. There's a weekly check-in. Hey, how's it going? So
that's awesome.
From there,
that's amazing. Well, I mean, like I said, take technology by the head and just roll with it. And obviously, you're building with that, so that's amazing. I did mention your YouTube videos. She does have a YouTube channel out there that's also going to be tagged at the bottom of this segment as well. So stay tuned for that. What gives you the ideas that you have? I was watching one, and you were talking about stretching.
Yeah.
How to stretch your hamstrings out, which is kind of cool because a lot of people are inflexible. Yeah. What are some common tips that you like? Do you sit in your everyday and go, okay, what am I going to talk about this week? Or do you have things that you've already done and you just decide to collaborate and put them together into a video?
Well, yeah, I'm very passionate about movement, and so I do read about it a lot and listen to different podcasts about it. Okay. So I do see that a lot of girls complain about certain things like, oh, like my wrists feel tight, like my wrists are hurting. And I think these are common things like low back pain, tight hamstrings, just because we're sitting so much. Well, not us, but most people, when I was working at an office, I was sitting for 8 hours a day, and your glutes turn off, your hamstrings get tight. So I think these are common problems that are going to help a lot of people. So that's where I get the ideas from.
Very good. So what are some basic tips you can give to everybody that it could be like, if a person is working in an office, for example, what are some basic tips that they can follow like on a regular basis that will help them to solve maybe some inflexibility that they have?
Yeah, so the main thing is because you're sitting a lot, your glutes shut off. They go to sleep. So the number one thing would be to just get up every hour. So what I used to do is I would put a reminder on Outlook, and it would pop up saying get up and go for a walk. So I would go for a walk. And sometimes I'd just stand up on a single leg and squeeze my glutes just to reactivate them. Okay. So it's all these little things, and the more you move throughout the day, the more that adds up as well. So
cool. And obviously you wouldn't do that in heels, ladies. So take your shoes off at your cubicle. Make sure your feet smell good. Okay. Make sure your feet smell well. And stand on one leg. Squeeze that glute. Pinch it nice and tight. Yeah. Boom, get those glutes activated, hamstrings activated. This is a professional telling us how to do this, okay? She's doing these things, has been doing these things for a while now. One thing that you're doing on a regular basis, you're an instructor in Power Watts.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about that.
So Power Watts is it's an indoor cycling center in the West Island. I mean, it's international, so I work at the one in the West Island, and it's the closest thing you get to riding a bike outside. Cool. So everything is based on your level. So again, it's more of a personalized approach. It's for all levels. You come there, you're anchored on a certain wattage, a certain power that's right for you, and from there you follow workouts, and you could see your stats live. Wow. Okay. So it simulates outside. You're on a road bike. Yeah. You're learning how to do. You're learning about different skills, different gearing skills. So it's great for people who are looking to ride indoors in the winter, but also for those who are just starting off, it's a great place to start before going on to a road bike outside.
Cool. 'Cause I mean, I've seen some of those classes live at the gym, and these guys are pretty intense. They have their like bodysuit going on, and they're like going nuts and sweats everywhere. I'm thinking, you guys are beginners, man? Like, you sure? I might scare a person out, but no, you guys have like certain class, like beginners class, you have advanced class, stuff like that. Or?
We don't, but just because it's based on your own power, it's good for anyone.
So I could be that new guy in the class and sits there and just like, I'm just pedaling my bike. These guys are like going hard. I'm like, oh man, I'm just trying to
Yeah, and
trying to get a little sweaty.
Even before I started, I was a bit intimidated because
Yeah.
when I started, I was into cycling, but I wasn't, and I wasn't competing or anything.
Yeah.
But everybody there is just so humble and so welcoming.
Cool.
So it's a little community,
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Always good to find a nice community, whatever works best for you.
Yeah.
That's amazing that you're building on that. That's cool. Now, speaking of cycling, I asked you this before, and I said, "Can I ask you this question?" She said, "Cool." You did have an accident before.
Yes.
We don't have to go into major detail, but it was pretty scary because your mom told you about it, or told me about it, and I was like, "What the heck's going on here?" What was that like, having to do the rehab to come back?
Yeah, it was pretty tough.
Yeah.
So I'll tell my
Yeah,
story
for
just
sure.
so people could get an idea. So that morning when I went out for my ride, I wasn't feeling good. I was training really hard that week, and I was going on a cruise the following week, so I figured I'll have a week to relax.
True.
I need to go out for my ride. I need to get my training in. So went out early, and it was supposed to be a 75-kilometer ride. At around 60 kilometers, I started to feel faint, and I told myself, well, like, what's 15 more kilometers after doing 60? I'll be fine. Long story short, I started to black out on the bike, and I hit a street post and flipped over my handlebars. Was unconscious for 10 minutes. So it was a pretty serious concussion. Had 6 stitches. Rushed to the hospital. Ended up going on the cruise the following day, all bandaged up. So that did me some good. But that really shifted my perspective on a lot of things in life. I have to say that before that accident, I wasn't listening to my body. And I feel like that's an issue with a lot of people, right?
I want everyone to pay attention to what she just said. She wasn't listening to her body. Okay, this is an athlete here, wasn't listening to her body, and she ended up resulting in an accident, which can happen. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I want to know that because people don't listen. They don't listen to me. So
Yeah.
listen to her. Okay, don't listen to me.
Yeah.
So.
And in my head, I was like, oh, I'm not going to be working out for a week, so I have to get that ride in. But it turned out to be 5 months not doing any exercise besides walking.
Wow.
So yeah, the rehab getting back into it was pretty tough, but there's not much you can do. It's also a very frustrating injury because you don't know if you're getting better until you go and try something, and So I had to take it super easy.
Mm-hmm.
I was signed up for my first triathlon that year actually, and I had to back out of it. But I think it taught me a lesson, which was good, I listen to my body now.
That's good. That's really good. Good that you pay attention to that and you got things going in the right direction from there. And sometimes we do need those type of scares. I mean, I shouldn't say that. Let me rephrase that. Not we don't need an accident to happen, but we need things to kind of shake us up a bit to kind of rethink and remember that we're not invincible. Yeah. Exactly. Great word. We're not invincible to things. We all get injured. We all get hurt. Even the most professional athletes out there get hurt. So we have to be careful of that and not put ourselves in a position to be further damaged as a result of that. So good on you for doing that for sure. Now, because you have like clientele and obviously you get to know them a little bit more personalized with them, one of the things that us trainers we experience with clients is that they undergo a lot of like adversity, personal conflicts with themselves. They have some people are experiencing a lot of like mental health issues and stuff. Have you had anyone that has introduced that to you about them in that manner, or have you yet to experience that with anybody?
Some people I've never with mental health yet, but a lot of it is past injuries that have held them back. So I'm able to relate to them with that, and I've seen that it's also helped them grow into a stronger person.
Right.
But I haven't encountered it, but I do see it being a big thing in the fitness industry, especially for women, right? There's so many women, facing body image issues because of social media.
That kind of stuff,
right? So that's another thing that I do focus on with women is just teaching them that it's not all about that. There's more to fitness than that.
That's good. Because I feel like a lot of their injuries come from that. Those selfie poses, tilting on one side, that's where their glutes aren't firing. Anterior rotation of their hip.
Yeah.
This guy's like,
And
she's laughing.
and tight hip flexors.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it's true. Every time
Girls,
someone
that's
says
not
scream,
good
I have
for
a
you.
pain in my hip, and I
Yeah.
go, why? What side do you stand on for your selfie? Oh, the left side. How did you know that? Oh, because I can tell. Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. And then
No,
they
that's
sit
a
down
big
all
thing.
day and stuff. Anyways, I'm not hating on anybody. If that's what you do for your business, cool. But stand
It's
up,
not-
move around.
Good. Yeah, it's all you're tilting your pelvis anteriorly. It's gonna end up in big problems.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Anyways, again, you're learning from a professional about these things. It's not all about the image. Want to be careful of that.
Yeah.
So, giving you a scenario. So let's say you were to encounter a client who had this type of challenge. What would be their approach that you would take to help them see things in a different perspective, or from a different perspective?
Like a body image?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. Well, the core value of Flexis Fitness is don't just look in shape, be in shape. And that really stems from the fact, don't just look in, like every girl wants to look good,
True.
obviously, right?
True.
But my main thing is teaching girls that fitness is a lifestyle, and if you want to sustain over the long term, there's no quick fixes. And a lot of that, the problem with a lot of these the body image issues is that there's a lot of people promoting unhealthy ways of attaining a certain look.
Right.
So when a client approaches me, they might not already be in that mindset, but they already know that's what I'm working with. Like, you're in it for the long term.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah, that's always a tough thing to combat, but
yeah.
Obviously you have to do the best you can, and being a female, being an example of that. Now, the tough thing about that, I'll say this and you can agree or not, because you are a person who's in shape, because I often get this sometimes too, is that, okay, what would you know because you're already in shape? You never experienced what I've experienced, so you don't really understand. Have you yourself ever had that challenge to overcome, and how were you able to overcome it, if you did?
I've never had to lose weight. Like, fortunately I was always active, and I was always into being active, because that's another thing, right? It's sometimes a struggle for people to want to work out.
True.
So I've never had that issue, but I have had the issue. I wasn't on the total extreme, but there was a point where I was getting so into fitness and nutrition and counting macros and tracking macros that it was just a downward spiral at one point. And so I have been through that side of things. So I really tried to bring it back to just teaching women how to balance everything, which it's so easy to be at one extreme to the other, but it's all about finding that balance. So that's why I like to work with them one-on-one.
Cool.
And find it.
Have you had any ideas of doing like a workshop one day, or like a seminar, or joining in even on like a sit-down seminar type of thing to kind of relay your message to your customers, your clients, or even just anybody who's interested?
Yeah, I would love to do that one day. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
That'd be cool to get that kind of a perspective from a biker.
Yeah.
I hate cycling. I'm sorry.
That's not all I do, right? But
I know
you like running.
Okay, so I started to like running,
Yeah.
and actually I used to wear a shirt that said
Responsible.
"running sucks," and I was like, but I started to like it because I was like, oh, I feel better at it.
Yeah.
And what it comes down to is when you get better at something, then you start to like it.
That's true. Yeah.
So obviously, maybe you never liked biking before, and then you start to like it. But it seems like your whole family does it, except for your sister does biking too.
No, she does.
Okay, she just teaches people. She's a teacher. But funny story about biking though. I'll tell you this funny story. So one time your mom came to my class, and she had these pants, and I said, "Wow, squats have been working for her, man." And then she told me they're padded. I said, "Oh," she goes, "They're bike pants." I thought you can actually buy these things, and then I saw them in a store, padded bike pants. But
Yeah, well, you need them. Yeah.
because you're sitting on the bike for like a long period of time.
That saddle is. I mean, there's some that are more comfortable than others,
Yeah.
but you definitely need that padding.
So your outdoor bike, is it like a high-end type of bike? Is it like a specific gel padding? It transforms into is it one of those like carbon bikes that like you can pick up with one hand?
It's a carbon bike, yeah.
Okay.
It's not. It's a higher end bike,
Yeah.
but it's not a triathlon bike or.
Okay, those
yeah.
are the top tier bikes.
Yeah.
Okay, and what do bike range like? What do bike prices range from? Because I've heard some crazy.
Yeah, there's some crazy ones that
Crazy
could be
prices.
close to 20,000.
20,000.
Yeah.
What? 20 G's. Wow.
And it depends
Right.
too, like, you could also buy different components, right? And that increases the value of the bike too.
Wow.
So
Okay.
my frame alone on my bike is worth $2,500, but that's that's like the main thing of my bike.
So
know?
you could take
Worth a lot.
So you could take a brake frame could be like $5,000.
Yeah. And then you could.
And then you can add stuff to it.
Exactly.
When you say add stuff to it, like do you add like lighting like this? Or like, you're like Ryan, like, hey guys, I'm brake. Or is it like, does it add speakers? Is it like you can add like an extra seat? Is it like a heated seat? I don't know. Like it becomes a low rider all of a sudden, like boom, you know, like I thought you was riding a city bike. Oh no, this is it.
It's like the wheels. Sometimes a set of wheels could cost, because you could get carbon wheels.
Right.
Those could be $2,000.
And what makes those things so special? Like,
they're lighter. So.
Lighter, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all about speed.
All about speed. Okay. Has there ever been a ride that you've done that has like kind of freaked you out? Not aside from the accident, but like where you've gone so fast where you're like, whoa, I'm going into another dimension right now. Type of speed. Like, have you ever done anything like that that's put you on another level of like, because everyone, I mean, if people don't understand what I'm saying, like when you're in a level of focus, there's a level of focus that goes beyond focus. It's like a section above that not many people get to. Have you ever been in that situation in your rides or even in your workouts, like that extra zone, either other zone?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And especially going downhill on the bike, I'm super focused because I'm actually afraid of going downhill.
Wow.
So, but I do get in that zone pretty often, even during my training where I'm just focusing on everything that's going on in my body too, you know?
Yeah. How do you, I mean, even going downhill, like how do you control the bike?
The heavier you are, the faster you go, actually. So
oh, really?
But I'm also afraid going downhill, but I typically lose everyone. I'm pretty good going up hills, but then when I go down hills, I lose everyone.
Because the weight transfers you down.
Yeah,
Makes
so,
sense.
but yeah, you don't really want to brake. You kind of just want to
just keep gliding. Keep gliding. Wow.
Stay focused.
Well, that's amazing. Well, guys, if you're into cycling, she does teach Power Watts. When's your class? When's the class that you teach?
I teach on Tuesday nights for now, but in the summer I might
do something out there. So Tuesday nights she does teach Power Watts. Again, you can DM her directly if you want to know her schedule and want to know about the class itself, which seems pretty interesting. Again, not something that I would do because I really hate cycling. Nothing against cyclers. If you cycle and you do your thing, it's cool. I'd rather just walk or run, or maybe I'll row. You know, if there was a rowing class, if you taught a rowing class, I'd probably do it. But even then, that starts to hurt. But whatever. So any other endeavors? Now we're in 2019. We're into April, approaching the middle of April. Any goals, any plans you have? Do you have any upcoming projects? Are you going to be doing more YouTube videos? Are you going to do a movie soon? Are you going to do like a... You have these lighting.
Yeah,
you have the lights. We can make a movie happen. They're like, man, stop referring to the lights, man. Damn it. Go on Amazon and get yourself. But anything that you have coming up? Any projects do you have happening?
Well, 2018 was a pretty busy year because I was working full time and building Flexis Fitness, and now that I'm committed 100% to it, it's gone to that point. It's just about really putting it out there, impacting more people, reaching out to more people. So definitely gonna continue with the Instagram videos, because those are definitely helping a lot of people. And yeah, it's just really about pushing out there,
getting the word out. Now, when it comes to starting your own business, because I mean, everyone who has their own business has these fears. What type of fears did you have when you started this project that has now become into your business?
Because I was working full time, like there was that fear, like, oh, what if it doesn't work out? But because I was still working, it's you know, I wasn't so scared. I was just like, you know what, this is my passion. I'm just gonna go for it. Like I've always been saying, oh, I'm in school, I can't do it. Oh, now I have a full-time job, I don't have time for this. But because it was my passion, I was like, okay, just do it, try it.
Yeah.
What can you lose, you know? But definitely that would probably be my fear, like, oh, what if it doesn't work out?
Right.
You know,
right. But you wake up every day and you go at it and you just and you make it happen. Well, that's awesome. That's called having that confidence. Sometimes it's tough because you don't know if it would work. But obviously you're making strides to make it happen, and that's great. And I'm really proud of the progress you've made in doing that, because I think you took a chance on that and you're really making it happen, and obviously it's growing into something big. So guys, again, if you're not following Alexis, please do so. She got some cool videos. She got great lighting, good cameras. Better than me. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna keep saying, I'm gonna put on this the whole time. Her boyfriend's like, what the heck, man? Get over it. I'm just kidding. So give me one fun fact about you that nobody knows that you're willing to share that is not, I mean, if it's embarrassing, I don't mind sharing it, but something about you that nobody knows.
And nobody knows?
Yeah.
Is it okay if a couple people know?
That's right. Yeah, sure.
So, every time I hit my right elbow, like my funny bone, I faint instantly. It's happened 3 times in my life. I don't know if that's a fun fact, but it's a pretty random fact. I don't know.
You faint?
Yeah.
Actually,
just like a little tap, and I feel it, like it's your funny bone, so it starts to tingle. And I'm like, ow, and I just passed out.
So, wait a second. So you could be like somewhere and just go boom, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
You just know it's gonna happen.
And it's only on my right side. I've done it on my left. I've tried it on my left side.
Have you like purposely done it to see if you pass out? And you've done it?
No. I haven't. No, it's just it so happens I've done it 3 times and.
So you hit your funny bone and you pass out. If there are any doctors out there that can tell me why that happens, or nerve specialists, that's crazy. I think you're gonna tell me something like, I have a collection of, I don't know, something. She's like, right, I hit my elbow and I. That is nuts. So, okay, well, anyways.
So a couple of people know about that because they've been there when it happened.
So has anyone purposely, like, have you gotten an argument with somebody and you go, you know what? We're done. And this argument right now, that's actually a really good fight. You end a fight with somebody, like, you know what? It's stupid.
Yeah.
Dead. I mean, but like, pass out. Cool. That's awesome. Well, again, I thank you so much for sharing what it is that you're doing, because I think the more people know who's in the community, who are doing things, different things that they can try, I think it's amazing. I think that the direction that you're going is obviously a great direction. I think you have tons of success ahead of you because you're still young. You're not an old fogey like me. I'm 34 years old. How old are you now?
24.
24. You see, you're 10 years younger than me. You got so much time. You're gonna be dominating YouTube like crazy, putting all those videos out there. I might see you on like a $1 million Mile. Have you ever seen that show, $1 Million Mile?
No.
Well, I think there's only been 2 episodes.
Okay.
But it's actually a pretty cool show. But I can see you being that person who's like the contestant who has to outrun the person who's challenging them. Anyways, look it up. $1 Million Mile. I'm not trying to plug for that show. I'm just saying. Put it out there. But that's obviously what it is. But definitely, I could see potential in you growing and progressing with this a bit more and building up this app. Do you have plans to have more trainers on that app itself?
Yeah, eventually. Yeah, for sure.
Because doing all the work yourself is like tiring.
Yeah. It's getting to be a lot.
There's only so many videos you can record in a day and stuff, and
that's also probably one of the challenges when you're starting off your business. Like, I'm fortunate that it's myself and my boyfriend, but it's a lot of work, and there's a lot of work.
So who's the one that directs the whole video? Like, is it him or is it you? Talking to him just now, he's told me like, yo man, you need to have this, and the shadowing has to be here in the depth, and I'm like, what the heck? And I'm like, yo, do you do this on the side? He's like, nah, I just learned, I just read this stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. But do you know in advance, okay, how I want this to be shot? I want it to be this angle, or do you both like kind of like decide, okay, this would be the best way to deliver this?
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Well, there's always like 2 angles, and then it's when I'm editing that I see, okay, this works better. Yeah. But all the content and stuff.
Okay. Do you ever put bloopers out there?
No, but that'd be interesting.
Because I know you say you're a particular person, so it'd be good sometimes to show that you fall. Show that you're human. To show that you're human. I put some videos of me falling sometimes, and it's like, people are like, oh, you actually fell, man? And they laugh. Yeah. It's funny. I have a friend, actually, who watches a video of me falling off risers every day. He goes, when I have a bad day, I watch the video of you falling.
I've seen that one.
And it makes me feel so much better. I'm like, why? He goes, oh, because it shows you're human. Which is, I guess.
Yeah, because you're really human when you could even jump all those.
But I'm just saying, like, but I'm like, but I fell. He's like, yeah, but it's good.
Yeah.
It shows that you're a normal person. So maybe you should put things like that out there. Flexis.
That's a huge thing.
Flexis falling. Yeah. That could be a good segment. Flexis falling.
Yeah.
Idea for 2019. We'll see.
I'll give that a shot. Yeah.
Anyways, thank you so much for coming by. I really appreciate it. Now, before we go, as usual, everyone who comes through here has their mic drop moment, where you have one statement that signifies what message you want to leave with everybody to kind of say, Alexis was here. Boom, I'm glowing. I'm getting this thing done. Bang, I'm gonna drop my mic right now. Boom, let it go. Now remember, I told you this before. If you take too long, Jeopardy music hits right away. And if you come with more than one sentence, I'm gonna sit there confused and go, I gotta find a way to hit her funny bone. Yeah. To get her to stop. So, one statement that you would say would be your, like, people would watch this and they go, yeah, okay, I'm gonna remember that. Alexis said that. That'd be your quote. That'd be your boom. Drop the mic.
I think I got this. I don't think you're gonna have to hit my funny bone.
Okay, you ready? Okay.
So do something today that your future self will thank you for.
Boom. Okay, I'll put it right at the bottom. Is that long? Okay, let's try it
Might be,
again.
yeah.
Do something today that your future. I can put it in 2 stacks.
Yeah.
Do something today that your future self will thank you for tomorrow's right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So whether that's a
heavy.
workout or learning something new.
That's heavy.
Yeah.
That's heavy. Guys, you want to be like Lexi, buy yourself some lights, get a good camera, get a boyfriend who knows how to cover all these things very well. I feel so excited that, like, this is happening. He came in with this stuff and I was like, yo, this is about to be serious. But I really do appreciate you coming. I really appreciate you guys coming through and sharing your knowledge and your wisdom thus far. Your experience is going to be great. If I can give you any sort of advice at all, just ignore the people who annoy you.
That's
Turn
great
them off.
advice.
I'm telling you, man, because people will come at you and they'll say, and you just have to turn them off. Every day I wake up, I just feel like, man, this is great. And everybody who used to get under my skin, just evict them. Evict them from your setting.
Stay in your zone.
Stay in your zone, do your thing, go downhill.
Yeah.
Gain a bit of weight, go downhill, come back up the hill, ride it out, let things go. But you'll have your ups and downs, but I'm pretty sure you'll do fine.
Yeah, that's great advice.
Yeah, you'll do fine and you'll be great. So, anyways, guys, if you want to follow Alexis, here's her Instagram tag right at the bottom. Boom, Flexis Fitness. Make sure you get on that app. Where can they find this app?
You go on my site, you take the quiz, and you get the download link for it.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put her website also in the other page that follows after this as well. So if you guys want to check that out for workout ideas, especially the females out there, please check it out. She's a really, really, really great, energetic, fun person. When she comes to my classes, she really kicks it up. Although last time she came here, she thought she was going to die.
Yeah.
That's okay. Because it's been a while. It's been a while. But I'm pretty sure if I came to your power class, I would die too. Because it's got to be fair. Fair, sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But anyway, check out our videos on YouTube. Check out our Instagram page. She got everything going up there, guys. If you have any questions, you can DM her directly. Again, as I mentioned, no awkward questions. Nothing crazy out there, guys. We don't want that kind of stuff out here. So please, if it's a fitness-related question or something about her hair, you can always ask her that. Or where she can get those butt pad pants. She knows where to get them. Ladies, might be a good addition for you. Just saying, just putting it out there.
Yeah.
It's the Daily Hustle. It's episode 11 with my girl, Flexis Fitness. What's up? Let's go.